Yo, what's up, everyone? So, I just want to have a quick discussion because I think it's something that we haven't quite talked about on my channel. I talked about this a little bit last night with Tom from RTR Truth Media, and that's what's been accomplished by everyone in this community on YouTube that's raised awareness, raised the red flag about all these things. We've changed society in a major way. For the Actually for the better. If you really think about it, you look at the evidence. How many pedophile busts have there been since all of this stuff came out about Pizzagate? Take the Trump thing out of it. Because what's happened is basically a response to the grassroots fight against all of this stuff. So we, as a grassroots movement, expose pedogate. And law enforcement agencies are obviously watching our stuff. Cops watch our stuff, and they see what's going on. And now we see in society all of these pedophile busts that are even now going all the way up the ring. I mean, look at the NXIVM people. Look at Jeffrey Epstein back on trial and all the people associated with Jeffrey Epstein. People like Kevin Spacey getting, exposed. People like R. Kelly getting brought back into court. Why is all this happening? Why is this all going down now? What do you think? It's unrelated to all of us spreading this information, spreading this awareness, getting the discussion going as to why is the system so lenient on pedophiles? I think we've changed the world for the better in a big, major way. And I think what we've been doing has been effective. We've been raising awareness and making people really have a discussion they did not want to have, which is, how do we fix this? What is wrong with society? And how do we get back to a place where we want to be? And it's slow to happen. It's been tiny little, bust here, bust there. But when you add them all together, there's been a whole bunch more. Like the John of God thing. Go look at that. That's, connected to Oprah. I mean, you have some big names. The Salzmans connected to the Clinton Global Initiative. I mean, no one ever thought you'd see high-level pedophile rings getting busted, but you have that going on now. The NXIVM trial is underway, and we don't know what's coming forward in the future. R. Kelly, who got away with this stuff for how long, is now back under trial for everything. I mean, think about the effect that we have all collectively, it hasn't been, the Pizzagate All-Stars or anything, it's been everyone who's talking about this. Every one of you. Even if you vehemently said the Pizzagate was fake, just by having the conversation, you're helping spread awareness of what's actually real and going on. Okay? And making people have the discussion that needed to be had. And we've had a really good effect. I mean, I can't tell you how shocked I am to see how many pedophile rings and stuff have been busted just in the last year. It feels like we've woken a lot of people up to this, and now they're in censorship mode. Like, oh God, they, opened up a can of worms with this one. Let's silence them, censor them, try to make them think they're less effective than they are, by tampering with the numbers, making it look like we're reaching less people. All of that, it's all by design to make us try to stop us, because they want us to think that we're not being effective when we are. So I don't think it has to do with Trump. I think it has to do more with all of us, a lot of Trump supporters, yes, a lot of people that were raising awareness about this issue, which is why I think you started seeing it at like a grassroots level, moving its way up, right? You're starting to see some big name arrests and things. And I wouldn't be shocked if you see more stuff in the future, right? So supposedly there's three big names. I'm not sure who runs the Cafritz Foundation that was started by Pamela Cafritz, who used to be the head of NXIVM, but I would look to see who runs that, as I was saying in that video the other day, and then maybe someone with the last name Cafritz, obviously not Pamela, who's dead, but someone with the last name Cafritz, as I said, might be getting indicted. And that would be a direct connection to Alefantis' art museum there. Transformer DC. But just think about all these arrests, like John of God, NXIVM cult, all the other ones. There was like all these sting operations and stuff by police, and I mean, it's been like thousands of pedophiles taken off the streets. Huge, that Peter Scully guy, all this. We've clearly had a major effect, and it's been a really good one. The Anonymous Hive guys have done a great job taking the fight to them. The Dragon's Den people have done a great job. Ariel's Army, all of them have brought this fight that no one wanted to have, but we've done it and we're winning, and it's going to continue. Now, one of the big warriors in our movement here, I would say, is MIA. I contacted the Honeybee. We would be in contact probably like once or twice a week at least up until October. And then she went totally silent. So I reached out to her.
Hey, band.
I reached out to her on Twitter with DM and got no response for a couple days, which is really odd, because normally I hear back like within a day or so, and I didn't hear back, so I texted her and I got no text back. So now I'm like, what the hell is going on? Last time I spoke to her, she was doing stuff like staking out potential child trafficking swap locations, investigating like Motel 6s and stuff where we were seeing a sign. And I'm not going to say what we were seeing, but they were using a new symbol to signify to one another. She was putting herself basically in harm's way. Just to give you an example of what was being seen, like Mercedes would pull up with kids in the back, and then you'd see a van pull up and block the Mercedes, and then you'd see the Mercedes drive off with no kids in the back, and then the van would drive off in another direction, and she would be crazy enough to, according to her, I wasn't there at the time, but what she was saying was that she would then follow the van to the next location, and sometimes they'd see her following and go at really high speed. So there'd be some high speed chases down, the highways here in New England and stuff, and in other parts of the country. So with that being the last contact, and her being into that type of stuff, actually going out there in person, staking places out, tracking people down, trying to submit police reports. I knew she was working with families in the court system and stuff. I don't know what the fuck happened. And I'm starting to get a little concerned. Not saying oh, she's, missing or anything like that. I'm just saying I don't know what's going on. And it's concerning. And that's all I have to say about it. I'll try to reach out to her again a couple more times, but I haven't been able to get in touch with her. So, I don't know what's up with the Honeybee. As should be obvious by the show Saturday night, I don't have any agreements or anything. She was just someone I collaborated with, and tried to work on exposing Okay, my back. So I know she was working on that documentary. I'm not actually in the documentary at all. I wasn't interviewed for it. I'm not a part of it. I did donate to it. That's my only. I gave like, I can't even remember how much. It wasn't much though, but I gave some towards it, and I told people to support it. So that's the last thing I knew she was working on. She was doing those in-person investigations and working supposedly on the documentary, but I wasn't a part of the documentary, so I can't really speak to what was going on with that. And she was like one of the fiercest warriors, like hardest working truthers in this movement, and to just vanish like that makes no sense, especially for this long. Literally the last time I've any communication from her is now October. So it went from talking to the person 2-3 times a week, at least, to now no contact since October. And that's kind of weird. So I'll keep trying to reach out. Maybe it's nothing. It could just be she took a break. People need that, people need to take breaks from this stuff. That's more than likely what's going on. But, I don't think someone said, oh, she took the money and run for the documentary. Why? I mean, it wasn't that much money, so that doesn't really make sense. The people that say that type of stuff flip out over me getting a 1,000 HUF super chat, which is literally $3, and they don't understand the difference between exchange rates and reality and all this, so they flip out like idiots. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about that. I don't think she took the money and run, nor did she likely make that much money for it after she probably rented equipment and stuff. I don't know, okay? I'm not involved in the documentary. So, as far as I know, that's what she was working on, was a documentary exposing pedophilia, and she was working on these in-person investigations where we had identified a new symbol that they still are using, and we still have other people investigating. But I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to tip our hand and let them know we know. So, with that being said, I just want to address that. Realize the effect that we've all had, on this world with all these pedophile busts, and just, I'm never going anywhere. This fight's going to go on forever for me. I'm in this for the long haul. So if I vanish and disappear,